I read somewhere sometime back that people and time will teach you more than the books. People and time will teach you more than the books. That's so true. Over time, Vice President Jagdeo is teaching us who he really is and where his loyalty lies with the things happening and going on in this country. Guys, tonight you will hear how upset our Vice President gets when he's asked about our wealth, our resources. Last Friday, he held a press conference, and what came out of his mouth, I never thought in my wildest dreams that I would have heard that from any citizen of a country, much less the former president and now the vice president of Guyana. I want all of you to hear how Bharat Jagdeo, for rightly ridiculing the PNC and the AFC for signing that Exxon deal, has suddenly become so much in love with the same contract that he's now pimping it and selling it to all of us. That same contract that the PNC is now saying was a huge mistake and wants better terms and conditions out of it, Bharat Jagdeo now love it more than the PNC who signed it themselves. But let me say this. Jagdeo or no Jagdeo, government or no government, can't get away with leaving this contract untouched. It must be changed.
Definitely.
And it have to change. This is the future of every Guyanese at stake, present and future generations, uncle. Man, woman, and children, and even animals and plants that are part of this country. LALL and the people of this country will never allow our great future to be snatched away from all of us because of just one man, Bharat Jagdeo.
Hell yeah.
Bharat Jagdeo, who's heading the oil sector now. No way. If I have to take my bed and live in the open air I'm talking about, uncle and auntie, in front of President Ali House to bring about a change in that contract, then I will do it. God Almighty, our Creator, has not blessed us with so much wealth for it to be given away to rich nations, while the Guyanese people, our brothers and sisters, are starving. Starving to the extent in which half of the school children going to school fainting in the classrooms, brother. No. Mr. Jagdeo, Mr. Ali, this is not the Hydro Falls. This is not the Borby's Bridge. This is not the White Elephant Skeldon plant. This is not the Marriott deal. This is not the Timeri Airport. This is not the gas to shore at Wales. This is not the Bush Roads Yal billing. This is not contracts for build schools, hospitals, police stations, bridges and drug contracts in which government's thieving out more than half of the money on every project. No, gentlemen. This massive oil wealth alone is more than enough to secure the lives of this present generation. A great life I'm talking about. This humongous oil discovery of over 11 billion barrels, plus what is to be announced very soon, uncle, is riches for countless generations to come. That is what we are looking at presently. And I want you people to understand that. And the man who's put in charge to manage this great oil wealth is now telling us, don't speak about oil and don't ask about any more benefits. Take what you get and shut up. Uncle, before I'll hear him, let me give you guys a quick preview of his press conference he held Friday. Friday gone. Out of 3 hours press conference, Uncle, he spoke over 1 hour in which he talked in clear language about the commission of inquiry the government set up to look into the madness that went on during the 2020 elections and the results. Was a whole rant and rave over the tricks and schemes the PNC, the AFC tried during the election season. Then he moved on to local government elections. He even said government can wait a few weeks, forget the list right, and so on. Next, he moved to race. Who getting contracts from the government, from who not getting contracts. How many Afro-Guyanese have big positions in his government. What they are doing from what they are not doing. Yes, all that he went on to speak. Then he went on to say, or he took us back to 1992, 30 years back, and said when them took over office from the PNC, we were a poor country. Nothing was left in the treasury. Then he talked about Soku, harassing his people, crime and corruption. Then he moved to the gas to energy, which is a Wales plant, an electricity plant. How are we going to export cooking gas and make money? Yes, he's going to export cooking gas and make money with no evidence that this project will be a success. That's my part. Then he went on to carbon credits with a whole long drawn-out rigmarole story again. How Guyana can resell the carbon credit and make a profit out of it. Oh. Carbon credit and the Wales plant was the 2 main topics for his press conference because he spoke at length on both and emphasized that carbon credit going to give Guyana money and cooking gas from the gas plant will make Guyana rich. Yes. Then he got to the 8% salary increase given to all them public servants, and then he stopped. Yes. Brothers and sisters, fellow citizens of this country, our vice president for over an hour spoke over 1 hour without breathing. And you know that man did not mention a single line, much less a word on our $1 trillion oil. Bernard, you believe that? Unbelievable. Uncle, if anybody had told me that Jagdeo held a press conference Friday gone, spoke over an hour and did not say anything about our oil, man, from the bottom of my heart, I would have said no. You got it wrong. I can't believe that. Bernard, I can't believe that Jagdeo will not do something like that. I would find it very difficult, Bernard, to comprehend that. And although I listened keenly to his presentation, I am still at a loss that Jagdeo did not address Guyana's $1 trillion oil industry, brother. You believe this thing, brother? Huh? Cooking gas and carbon credit, this man talk about. That's going to make Guyana into a Dubai. Not the $1 trillion man. Oh my God. This got to be the best country on earth. Kevin? Huh? This entire universe, with every international financial and business institution on earth, cannot take their eyes, ears, and mouth off Guyana, brother. Can't take off them eyes, ears, and mouth off of Guyana, auntie. Guyana is the new heaven on earth, with that massive oil discovery and with more to come. Here we have our financial guru, a former head of state, now the head of this world-renowned oil find in this country, holding press conferences to talk about carbon credit and cooking gas. 1 out of every 3 barrels of oil discovered in the entire world today, from since 2015 to now, uncle, comes from Guyana. Jagdeo talking about cooking gas and carbon credit. Are you going to help me here, brother? Jagdeo does not hold press conferences regularly. Auntie, for the last 6 months to now, he held 6 press conferences. 2 in June, 1 in July, 1 in August, 1 in November. And the 6th one was Friday gone, in which he said absolutely nothing about oil in his presentation, brother. You hear that? Nothing this man said about oil. Should this man still be sitting in that chair, holding that position in which our future lies and that of future generations, man? You tell me, Bernard. Now, guys, I want you to hear this. He did not say anything about our oil wealth. And when he was asked by myself and the reporters present, his facial expression, his language, his tone of voice made me believe that we were tampering with his most prized position. You hear that? Our questions disturb his peace of mind, upset his balance. I am posting the link of the entire press conference for you and the world to listen and judge for your own selves, uncle. It's in the comment section. Click and keep it. Put a link up for me, please. Now I want you to listen to the very first question I posed to him. Could you play that question for them here?
Questions. I don't know how much you'll take.
All right, go quickly and I'll try to answer all of them. Go quickly, though. Yes, I'm making notes.
The 5th oil project you're moving to approve.
5th, right, oil project, yes.
Will Guyana see any further benefits?
All right, that's one. 5th oil project.
Talking about ring fencing, full liability coverage.
All right, I got that.
Royalty or any other?
Yeah.
Sure. No. All right. Will you be seeking your companies paying at least the country's taxes on the 5th project? You know, corporation tax on that.
Okay, all right.
All right.
Here's the same question you're asking.
All right.
Yeah.
No, I want to be very clear.
Okay.
Very clear.
You want to make a speech, man?
No, I just want to be specific, sir. I'm telling you, fencing for liability coverage and corporation tax.
You know what you're asking me? Well, I go into a place, I order a plucked chicken, and the person said, and then I asked the man, "Are you going to pull out the feather by the tail?"
No,
and also the other things? The plucked chicken is that we made it clear publicly that projects under the Starbrook block, that they will enjoy the same terms as were there in the 2016 agreement. That's it. The fifth project is done under the Starbrook block. That is the plucked chicken.
No, sir.
Yes, that's a plucked chicken. You're going to ask me.
I'm talking, you're going to approve a fifth project.
Under the Starbrook block, in the Starbrook block. In the Starbrook block. That's the fifth project. Okay. In the Starbrook block. So that's you asking me about the feather now, by the tail and the feather by the foot.
Is that the answer?
Right, yes. That's the answer. I told you, you may not agree with it. You don't agree with it. Not that you may not, you don't agree with it.
Okay.
But you have the answer there. Let's go on.
Wow. Uncle, his first words to me before I asked my first question were, I must go quickly. He wants to get me out of the way. He doesn't want to waste time or talk on oil questions. That's not on his agenda. Any other questions away from oil and other resources, he openly answered with a smiling face, ready to address the issue. He knew Glenn LALL would only ask or talk about oil, our oil wealth. So he came prepared to brush me off as quickly as possible. Get me out of the way. You heard how hostile and impatient he was. I must go quickly. Why was he in so much of a hurry with me, Uncle? He didn't even know what I was going to ask him, Bernard. But in his mind, he know. I am there to ask him about our gold, our bauxite, our timber, our oil. Yes. His tone of voice, his body language, the glare in his eyes spoke more clearly than his words of who he is, where he is, and where he doesn't want to go. He is saying, I there with the coalition contract, and I not moving from there. Isn't that what it boils down to, man? Eh? You guys heard him. I have asked this man if Guyana will benefit anything more in the fifth project he's going to approve, and wanted to be very clear if he would secure Guyana with full liability coverage. I wanted to know if he will ring fence the fifth project, that Guyana profits are not being slaughtered the way it is being slaughtered presently. I wanted to know, Uncle, if Guyana will get more royalties out of that project, and if Exxon will be paying the country's legal tax obligations. And Jagdeo telling me about plucked chicken and feathers from the tail. Yes. Jagdeo is comparing our US $1 trillion oil business to a $5 plucked chicken. Are you believe this thing, brother? Huh? Guyana's future is being measured and compared to a plucked chicken. Yes. Your $1 trillion oil out there is being reduced to a plucked chicken with feathers from a shop. Could you play back that tape for me, man?
All right, go quickly and I'll try to answer all of them. Go quickly, though. Yes, I'm making notes.
The fifth oil project you're moving to approve.
Fifth, right, oil project, yes.
Will Guyana see any further benefits?
All right, that's one. Fifth oil project.
Talking about ring fencing, full liability coverage.
All right, I got that.
Royalty or any other?
Yeah.
No. All right. Will you be seeking your companies paying at least the country's taxes on the fifth project. You know, corporation tax on that.
Okay, all right.
All right.
Here's the same question you're asking.
All right.
Yeah.
No, I want to be very
All
clear.
right, okay.
Very clear.
You want to make
I
that
wanna be-
speech, man?
No, I just want to be specific, sir. I'm telling you, fencing is for liability coverage and corporation tax.
You know what you're asking me? Well, I go into a place, I order a plucked chicken, and the person said, and then I asked the man, "Are you going to pull out the feather by the tail,
No, sir.
and also the other things?" The plucked chicken is that we made it clear publicly that projects under the Starbrook block, that they will enjoy the same terms as were there in the 2016 agreement. That's it. The fifth project is done under the Starbrook block. That is the plucked chicken.
No, sir.
Yes, that's a plucked chicken. You're going to ask me.
I am
Right.
you're going to approve a fifth project.
Under the Starbrook block, in the Starbrook block, that's the fifth project.
Okay.
In the Starbrook block. So that's you asking me about the feather
that's the
now,
answer.
by the tail and the feather by the foot.
Is that the answer?
Right, yes. That's the answer. I told you, you may not agree with it. You don't agree with it. Not that you may not, you don't agree with it.
Okay.
But you have the answer there. Let's go on.
Wow. Wow, the man, no, I wouldn't agree with it. But let me tell him, not a Guyanese would agree with you, Mr. Jagdeo. The man said, I have made it clear publicly that all projects under the Starbrook block will enjoy the same terms that were there in 2016 agreement. Uncle, I want to tell you all plainly here tonight, that's an untrue statement. He has never, none of them has ever made that clear that every other project will be like Lisa 1 and 2. He himself has promised several changes in every project. Today the man is saying, we'll enjoy the same terms that were there in the 2016 agreement. That's it. The fifth project is done under the Starbrook block deal. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, Uncle? You know what a man is telling us there? Guyana is doomed under his leadership, where Exxon and the Starbrook block is concerned. This is the same man who, when in opposition, told the nation through our parliament that the Starbrook block deal was a robbery, was a rotten one. They step in there and sold out our patrimony. Listen to him, man. Play that tape.
After ExxonMobil came here under the PVP, explored under the PVP, found oil under the PVP, at that time we had a chance to renegotiate the contract to bring more benefits to Guyana. Mr. Speaker, that company walked in because they're very smart, big company. They look out for their shareholders. And so what they did, they walk in with their maximum demands. Our incompetent government trudged in there unprepared and stuck us with a contract that would harm us for decades into the future. They sold our patrimony. And when they were caught, Mr. Speaker, with this, what did they do?
Uncle and Auntie, LALL loved today's technology. Man is the greatest thing on earth today. You heard his tone of voice. You hear how this man was fighting. Yes, I'm ready for war for every Guyanese with a contract. When he was talking to me just now, you heard him? You want to know if cat bite you or goat bite him out. You know, very soft, very thing, you know. But in Parliament, when he was in the opposition, you heard him there, how he would fight for Guyana. Yes. Today he's a totally different man. Complete change of heart. where that deal he cussed out and criminalized. Today he's the chief defender of it, uncle, and boldly saying every other project in the Stabroek block will be under the same terms and conditions laid out in the same contract treatment sign that he cussed down there just now. Guyana, Guyanese, brothers and sisters, you are in the worst of the worst trouble right now. Jagdeo is now Trotman multiplied by 1,000 times. That's what you have here in Guyana. Jagdeo is Trotman multiplied by 1,000 times. That is what we have here in Guyana, speaking now. He accused Trotman and the coalition of selling out our patrimony, selling out our future, selling out our country, uncle, selling out our lives and livelihood to ExxonMobil with a contract. He knows that and knows much, much more. For example, this man knows 600 oil blocks ExxonMobil get was illegal. He know that. He spoke about that. Only 60 they're entitled to by law. And he knows that. Yes. Yet, look what he's doing today. The man is hugging the contract plus hug the entire Stabroek block. What you have listened to, uncle, what you have listened to just now is 1,000 times worse than what the coalition did. And every day that goes by in this land, Jagdeo is making it worse and more worst for every dog and cat in this country, knowingly. Yes, it's not that he's making mistakes. He is knowingly endangering this land. This is not stupidity anymore. This is not ignorance or incompetence, uncle. Jagdeo knows exactly what he's doing to every one of us in this country. Jagdeo told us many times he will ensure that this country gets better terms and conditions out of that deal. He has done it. He made changes in the Payara. He made changes in Yellowtail that he approved. Not significant, but he made changes. And he boasted about it. On my radio program, he boasted on it. Hear him for yourself. How he said he will echo out more benefits for the Guyanese people, man. Play that tape for let them hear him.
If after we left office, is they went and signed a contract that we have to now live with, that is lopsided, and we now have to find ways and means of eking out more benefits from the engagements with oil and gas companies without violating the sanctity of the contract.
You see why you gotta love today's technology, uncle and auntie? You can catch him back and play him back for you to hear what he said yesterday, the day before, and the day before, and what he's saying today. Today, when he's sitting in the chair, holding all the trump cards in his hands, he's pretending and behaving like if he only has the two jokers of the pack in his hand. Uncle, Guyana and all of us can be rich tomorrow morning if Jagdeo do the right thing. You hear me, brother? You hear me, Bernard?
Definitely.
Kevin, this country can be rich tomorrow morning if Jagdeo only do the right thing. But he is hell-bent on selling out this country further. How can he not want a better royalty rate in this fifth project to help the starving nation, brother? Tell me, man. Eh? How can he not want to secure the country from an oil spill? How can he not want to to put in a ring fencing provision in this fifth project from being further plucked like a chicken, man? Huh? At present, Guyana's profits is being slattered from those 4 projects with the lack of ring fencing provision. How can a leader not want an oil company fetching out billions of US dollars worth of our wealth not to pay the country's legally bounded taxes, man? Eh? When there is nothing stopping him from doing so. Come on, guys. Come on, tell me something. Bernard, why? Let me tell you guys this. The 2016 contract does not bind Guyana for life. Let me repeat this thing, Uncle. The 2016 contract Trotman and Granger them signed does not bind Guyana for life. It does not bind Guyana to the same terms and conditions forever. Get that in your heads clear. It can be changed. But Jagdeo wants us to believe it can't. But it's not so, Uncle. Changes can be made on every other projects that are being approved. Please understand that, Uncle and Auntie, and understand that very clear. You make mistakes on 2 mango trees in your yard, but with every other mango tree you're approving, you can call the shots to make up for what you have lost out on the first 2. Exactly. Don't let nobody tell you anything different from that. Don't let Jagdeo try to push copper or high and down with throat. It can be changed.
Yes, it can.
But when you listen to this man, he's hell-bent in changing nothing. Absolutely nothing. So why is he not changing anything, Bernard? What is he getting personally out of this deal that he doesn't want to check anything? I am just asking him. And I'm asking him publicly. I have asked him many times, and he never answered that question. Jagdeo also made changes in the 3rd and the 4th projects, Uncle. Now all of a sudden, when he's confronted, if he will echo out more benefits for the Guyanese people from the 5th project, he's trying to tell us no. The 5th project and every other project will be done the same way Lisa 1 and Lisa 2 was done. This guy is sick. This guy is sick. He needs help. You hear me, man? This man is sick. Or he's just plain wicked. What is there? Or how much is in there for him personally that he don't want to get a better deal with better terms and conditions in his 5th project for the starving Guyanese people, man? Huh? You know, Bernard, I'm smelling something stink in this radio room. And I think it's coming from outside. And I want to believe it's coming from that press conference room I went in Friday gone. You know that, Kevin? Yes, sir. I believe that. You know, I wanted to play back the first tape. Or you want to play it back, man? We have tape, man. Play it back, man. Play back the tape.
Questions, I don't know how much you will take.
All right, go quickly and I'll try to answer all of them. Go quickly, though. Yes, I'm making notes.
The 5th oil project you're moving to approve.
5th, right, oil project, yes.
Will Guyana see any further benefits?
All right, that's one. Fifth oil project.
talking about ring fencing, full liability coverage,
All right. I got that.
royalty or any other.
Yeah.
No. All right. Will you be seeking your companies paying at least the country's taxes on the fifth project? You know, corporation tax on that.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Here's the same question
Excellent.
you're asking.
All right.
Yeah.
No, I want to be very
All right.
clear.
Okay.
Very clear.
You want to make
I
a
wanna
speech, man?
No,
Yeah,
I
go
just
on.
want to be specific, sir. I'm talking ring fencing, full liability coverage, and corporation tax.
You know what you're asking me? Well, I called to a place. I order a plucked chicken, and the person said, and then I asked the man, "Are you gonna pull out the feather by the tail,
No,
and also the other things?" The plucked chicken is that we made it clear publicly that projects under the Starbrook block, that they will enjoy the same terms as were there in the 2016 agreement. That's it. The fifth project is done under the Starbrook block. That is the plucked chicken.
No, sir.
Yes, that's a plucked chicken. You're going to ask me.
I am
you
talking,
right.
I'm talking, you're going to approve a fifth project.
Under the Starbrook block, in the Starbrook block, in the Starbrook block. That's the fifth project.
Okay.
In the Starbrook block. So that's you asking me about the feather
what's the
now,
answer?
by the tail and the feather by the foot.
Is that the answer?
Right, yes. That's the answer. I told you, you may not agree with it. You don't agree with it. Not that you may not, you don't agree with it.
Okay.
But you have the answer there. Let's go on.
The man know I don't agree with it, you know. And every Guyanese listening to this program, nobody could tell Glenn LALL they agree with what he said there. Sanctity of contract does not apply to any other projects. It applied to Lisa 1 and 2 that the coalition government approved. And they accept they made mistakes. Why not correct this thing, man? Huh? Wait, we got to live with a penny throughout we life? No. No. Not until this body got breathing here. That will never happen. You know, Uncle, we are where we are today because of our actions yesterday. Our actions today will determine our future tomorrow. Never forget that. Never forget that. I learned those words many years ago. Our actions today will determine our future tomorrow. Live for today. Yes, live for today. All is well and good. But what becomes of tomorrow when your children and grandchildren, yes, will be left hungry? I'm just asking. You know, why is he so defensive with the media, Bernard? Why is he trying to put up a steel wall every time you raise these issues with him? Every time you raise this issue with this man about the Starbrook block, you know, he gets upset. He said, well, you remember what he said? Under the Starbrook block, in the Starbrook block, in the Starbrook block, in the Starbrook block. That's the fifth project in the Starbrook block. 3 times, Uncle. 3 times he said in the Starbrook block. You asking me about feather now. Feather by the tail and feather by the foot. That's the answer. I told you. You may not agree with me. You don't agree with it. That's his words, man. If you didn't hear it, I repeat his words for you, auntie and uncle. Yeah. You know, Bernard, he got a one right. I may not agree with him. No, he said, I don't agree with him. That one, uncle and auntie, he got right. He knows that Glenn LALL don't agree with him. He also knows that all Guyana doesn't agree with him. including some of his people sitting right next to him on a daily basis. He knows that Glenn LALL, yes, he knows that Glenn LALL know what he's up to. He know that Glenn LALL is seeing through him, not only through his body, but through his words that come out of his mouth. Yeah, man, he knows that. That's why he can say with certainty that I don't agree with him. He's absolutely right on that one. Yes, you're right on that one, Jagdeo. How can this man so blatantly, Uncle Bernard, so barefacedly tell a nation that the Guyanese people can get more benefits from these new oil projects when it is crystal clear that this country can become rich overnight by just demanding more from the fifth project? Huh? Huh? Jagdeo can just open his mouth and say to Exxon, Guyana wants 25% royalty with the country's taxes, or we're not going anywhere with any other project. Simple and straight like that. Hmm? Jagdeo can demand all the environmental rules and regulations to be observed to the fullest for any other project, and see if Guyana don't become a Dubai overnight. Eh? Let Jagdeo prove me wrong on this. On this, what I just said there, or ExxonMobil. What I'm saying, Uncle and Auntie, the ball is in Guyana's court. We hold all the cards, and we are the ones that should be calling the shots. But you hear what Jagdeo is talking? Huh? You hear, you see where Jagdeo is taking this country? Hmm? He is saying nothing more, only less. Yes, that's where Jagdeo is taking this country. And this thing is sad. This thing is sickening. This thing is unbelievable and unthinkable. We should not allow him. We have to now get out and protest President Ali, because Jagdeo is not the boss anymore. We have an executive president named Mohammed Irfan Ali. Is he? We voted for. Everybody voted for him. You understand what I'm saying, man? Now let's turn to another question. I asked him about a report he promised to make public on the investigation he said he did on the Kaichur and Kanji oil blocks, and the mining contracts he promised the country will see at 6 different forums. You hear me? Let's turn to another question I asked him, Uncle, about the Kaichur and Kanji report he promised along with the mining contracts. Could you please play him, let the people hear him?
All right. So could you please deal with Vikram Bharat? Maybe Vikram Bharat has a higher tolerance level than me. Right. So can you please deal? Vikram Bharat has the portfolio. Talk to Vikram Bharat about that next time he goes to a press conference, because I think of giving answers.
You done there? You need tolerance level. Vice President need tolerance level to answer a very simple question I asked him. I said, sir, you have promised to release the names of the beneficial owners of the Kaichur and Kanji oil blocks. Uncle, from the time he heard that, he said, oh God, there we go. Oh, okay. It's the same. Then I told him not the mining contracts. Yeah. Same, yeah. Well, go to Vikram Bharat. Go to Vikram Bharat next time you hold a press conference, Uncle. When you hear a vice president behave like this on the people of this country's assets, many, many questions are left in people's head. Who really collecting the cash? Whose bank account the sale of those 2 oil blocks went into? Yes, those are questions you have in your mind. I have them in my mind. You see why he can't handle a Glenn LALL, Bernard? Glenn LALL will not let these things die. I have grandchildren, and many of you out there have children and grandchildren. And we have a right to know what went on with those 2 oil blocks and what's going on with our gold contracts, our timber, our manganese, our bauxite contracts. Don't you want to know, Bernard? Yeah. Kevin, don't you want to know? Yes, sir. Huh? The first press conference, when I asked him, he sent me to GRA and GGMC. Forget the contract. Could you play that thing? Technology today, man. Play it, let me.
So, these contracts don't rest with the president. If you go to GRA, every one of these contracts will be a GRA because they all have duty-free concessions. You remember the Baishanlin contract?
Yes.
That people didn't see. It was with GRA. That is why GRA said, here is what you're eligible for, and here's what you're not eligible for. And they had to end up paying more taxes. Every single one of these contracts will be with the agency. It is not just. There is, I don't know now who, because if Ramson is still there, but we passed, just before I left office, a Freedom of Information Act. All you have to do as reporters is to request through that body. I have to find out if Ramson is still functioning. But if you request that, a contract through that body, and you don't get it, then that's a different matter. But it's not, we don't publish the contracts. The contracts are with the agencies. So it might be with the GMC, and it will be because they would sign it, or it will be with GRA. So I think the reporters have to start utilizing more that provision. I'm going to make sure that we discuss this seriously. I'm going to talk to the president that we put in place a mechanism to operationalize, if it's not in place already. I haven't looked at it.
Thank you.
So that is what you should do, and request the contracts.
Thank you. Uncle, you hear his soft tone of voice there? You're going to hear him just now. He said, I will make sure that we discuss this thing seriously. I'm going to talk to the president that we put in place a mechanism to operationalize it if it's not in place already. Simple, straightforward question, mining contract. Why it is not being released when the law is clear on that? I will talk to the president and we'll put in place a mechanism to operationalize it if it's not in place already. That way you're hearing from him. Today's technology, you gotta love it. Then we have listened to him again, play another press conference.
You know, sir, you asked us to seek the bauxite, gold, diamond, and all these manganese contracts from GRA and GGMC. To date, I have tried personally, I spoke with all the heads, and they refuse to get them.
No, on the, yes, I saw Stacia's reply. So he did reply to you because he's administering some of these contracts, right on the fiscal terms of the contract. But agreements, I think, did you explore this Freedom of Information Act? But I don't think these agreements should be secret. because the concessions are standard. If we gave, like, moving away, you recall, many people don't remember this, but the Minister of Finance used to sign every duty-free letter. That was when I was there. And we changed it when I became president. And even before that, we started moving to change it, where all of that, the administering of duty-free concessions, would be done by the GRA and not by a political individual. And secondly, there would be based on legislation. So if you're investing in tourism, then if you invest in a hotel of a particular magnitude, everybody should be getting the same concession. If you see someone who got extra concession, then something unusual happened there. So I don't see the reason why many of these are not in the public domain already. But I'll find out a bit more. Yeah, let me find out a bit more.
All right. Thank you.
Bernard, I don't think you listen carefully what a man said. Me talking about releasing mining contracts and he move away telling us about duty-free concession, who granting them and who signing them. This is the game this game master has been playing all along with the Guyanese people. Where their wealth is concerned, uncle. He end by saying again, I will look into it. He is putting the poor officers in front of the firing squad, uncle. That's what he's doing there, you know. He wants you, yes, you. He wants me to believe that those people he sent me to are the ones who do not want these contracts to be released. Oh, now he's sending me to Bharat, Vikram Bharat. Mr. Jagdeo, LALL, know better. You hear me? And this country beginning to see under your skirt who you are. Read my lips, uncle. Hear my voice. I know better, and you guys know better about what is happening in this country. Yeah. When he came on my radio program, and I asked him again, he said, he is not my post office. Listen to him again, man. This is the third time. Play.
Well, I'm not your post office.
No, I know that you're not my post office.
I told you that
they have all refused. They have all refused.
These are not with the office of the president. They're with the agencies.
And they have refused.
Every agreement that is signed that is sitting with the GRA or the agency.
They have all refused to hand it over.
I told you the Freedom of Information Act allows you to take some steps.
Why do this nation, why the media has to be on a weekly basis behind a government to ask them, to beg them for something as simple as a mining contract?
No, but
you guys give out to foreigners.
Did Stacia write you back on the matter?
He did not write. I write Station. I also wrote the GGMC, and they both.
So the GRA never responded to you?
They both said no.
But how did they say no? Did they respond and they told you?
Sir, like again,
no, but
again, I don't want to go down this road. 3 times I've asked you this at 2 different press conferences in which you made it clear that yes, these, and the law is very clear on that. The people of this country should and must see these contracts you people sign.
Not the oil contracts.
I'm talking about the mining contracts of gold, diamond,
because all the oil contracts are available, publicly available.
Manganese contracts, all these contracts should be in the public domain, sir. Yeah. Why are you guys keep hiding it from this nation? Why? I still cannot.
No. But you're characterizing this as hiding these contracts.
Well, I'm asking you. I've asked you many times.
For me personally, I don't see any reason why you should not have.
And I've been hearing that answer all the time.
But it's the agencies. I don't have.
As Vice President, I'm asking you tonight on this radio. would you take it, make your duty, and ensure that this is being released to the public?
So
to
I
the
can
media?
undertake to find out with you there what provision the GRA is so cagey about that it doesn't want to release.
GGMC.
And GGMC. So I can undertake to
The
do
law
that.
is very clear
I don't
on that.
know, yes, if the law is that these contracts have to be made public, they should be made public. I think, no. I just think that there may be proprietary things that they're worried about. But if the law is clear, then they should release these contracts. There is nothing in there to hide.
All right, let me make it more clear and simple for you, sir. Propriety information, I don't need.
All right. So
nobody needs that.
Then I will undertake that anything that is not proprietary, that you get it released.
And you're
because I will personally now see that this happens.
And you're not going to tell me that concessions is part of propriety.
No.
You're not going to tell me that the deal, the contractual arrangement between Guyana
but concessions are public issues, what people get in their contracts.
Thank you. So we'll hold you to that. Thank you, sir.
But this one here is just been going on for too long. Yeah.
Thank you. This one going on too long. You hear that? He just said the tape prior to this, the second press conference, right? He saw the letter that what GRA boss was responding to me. Until now, I didn't get a letter. He see that letter. He come on my radio program to tell me, did Stacia respond? You heard him there, man. You understand what I'm saying? You see how this guy, and he said, if the law, he doesn't know the law. 12 years being the president, such an important thing, given contract, he doesn't know the law. He know every single thing from the sun to the moon to the earth. But he doesn't know if Guyana's law permits the government to release contracts. How you like that? Huh? Y'all see the game Bharat Jagdeo has been playing with this nation from the moment he stepped into presidency? And to now, with y'all wealth, uncle and auntie? Why they want to hide this information? Why he doesn't want this nation to see what Guyana is getting out of these contracts? Me and you own these wealths, uncle. All the mineral in this land, we own them. Why he doesn't want us to see what we are getting out of our gold, our diamond, our bauxite, and so on? Why? What is he hiding? Then he went on to say, not the oil contracts, because all the oil contracts are publicly available. He wants Guyana to believe there that he made that available. You heard him, right? Uncle and auntie, David Granger is the man who made that oil contract available. Not only for Guyana, but the entire world to see. So don't believe Jagdeo made that public. If a mining contract, he dancing around, pussyfooting all over the place to release. You think for a moment Guyana would ever see that US $1 trillion contract from him? Not even in a million years Guyana would see that. And that is what happened to many of the Asian and African countries, including Trinidad and Tobago. It took the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago 70 years before their oil contract they could see it. Yeah. Had you had Jagdeo there, man, 50th generation would have dead. And the people would have never seen that contract. Simple things like this. And the law dictates this, man. Jagdeo, the law dictates, the law says every citizen should see these contracts. This wealth doesn't belong to you, or you family, or Ali and Ali family, or any of the politicians and their family. Come on. Come on. You see what's going on in this land? It's Christmas. Did I say Merry Christmas? Merry Christmas, guys. You know, sometimes you gotta just take it easy. Merry Christmas, huh? Jagdeo did a review, Uncle, on the Payara $9 billion. Guyana still waiting on that report. Several other reports he is not releasing. Look, 2 days ago, the contract to sell Guyana oil after a load of cost down from the opposition and the media. He released the contract without any signature on the contract. This is Bara Jagdeo. This is Bara Jagdeo releasing a contract with no signature. Yes. And he's heading Guyana's future and generations' future. Yes. Releasing contract. You know, tomorrow we can, listen, we not able to go contract, too much contract there. Oh boy. Oh. Then I will undertake that anything that is not proprietary will be released. I will personally see to that. He even said this thing is going on too long. You guys heard him, Uncle? Then Friday, he is telling me to go to Vikram Bharat again. I already texted Vikram Bharat same Friday afternoon. He read the message, but poor fella didn't respond. He didn't respond. What do you think he'll respond? He can't say anything. He there running and ducking and hiding because he can't face the media. He can't face the public. Jagdeo can't face the public and the media. You put them kids there. You know? You only causing shame on station and people like Vikram Bharat. Because when he said the whole country believe is Tasha, is Vikram Bharat, is GGMC man doesn't want to give. You hear him. You hear him. I will ask him again, Uncle. I want to see how he will get out of this. Yes. And I will ask the president too, whenever I see him. Let's wait and see how they will dance out of this. Yes. Our future is at stake, man. Our livelihood is in danger, brothers and sisters. I will keep confronting them everywhere and anywhere I see them. This man cannot, Uncle, and must not be trusted, believed with nothing. He tells lies. He twists and misleads us all his life. That is something I can prove. Wow. I want to give you this quote. If you think the price of winning today is too high, wait till you get the bills from regret tomorrow. Let me repeat it. If you think the price of winning today is too high, Uncle, wait till you get the bills from regret tomorrow. Until we meet again, Uncle, God bless all of you. And try to have a Merry Christmas if you can. Bernard, you want to say something? I'm done. I'm not going to say anything more. You know, the Skeldon plant is a white elephant. They never done renovated the airport is a blue elephant. The Enmore packaging plant was a green elephant, now turning yellow from Enmore to Borbis. And many other colored buildings across this country, all with hundreds of millions of US dollars in loans. In loans, Uncle, sitting on our backs. Yes. The Marriott and the Borby's Bridge are two pocket elephants for them. Yes. All these things sitting with billions of debts. This is why public servants can't get salary. This is why y'all can't get roads. This is why y'all can't get proper drainage, a clean city or nothing. I keep asking y'all to name one single thing. Anybody, I am going to give them $1 million out of my pocket. One single thing Bharat Jagdeo has done that has benefited this country. One. And that they didn't benefit out of. Name one, man. Gosh, man. 30 years between them.